check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products, from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go.
All right, back. Goodfellow Sports TV in the building. Kind of call this like behind the scenes talk or whatever, but got a couple stories that's going on behind the scenes that may or may not completely come to light one day. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. All right, and we can start off with Hurd. I heard from a source, and I'm pretty sure some other guys can elaborate it better than I can, especially down in DMV, that it's actually more to the story about him and Ernesto splitting up. Ernesto Rodriguez, his former coach, and it's being said that he said that he told Hurd not to take the Julian J.Rock fight, and blase blah, and that's not true from what I'm hearing from from a source behind the scenes. Is that he never said that Hurd shouldn't have took that fight. Okay. He claimed that it was lower risk, higher reward fights out there, and that wasn't the case. And they said that Hurd was really dealing with a serious shoulder injury still. They said the shoulder still wasn't 100% fully healed, and perhaps he needed to take more time off, and he perhaps came back quicker than he was supposed to come back for the J.Rock fight. Now, you didn't hear any excuses on wax from Team Hurd at all. Okay? Ernesto didn't bring it up when he did that interview, I think, with Laugh at First Sight. And, Hurd didn't bring it up at all. But the word on the street is Hurd is not healthy from that shoulder injury. Okay? And it sounded like they needed to cancel this fight, and they didn't cancel it. Or they need to take more time to heal. So that's what's going on. And his former coach, and if you want to speak out on it, you're more than welcome to. Need to address this. All right, they basically saying that he lying. Okay, that he lying about saying that he told Hurd not to take the J.Rock fight. And what's being said from behind the scenes or from a source around his team is that, they basically saying that he didn't advise Hurd not to take the fight. And Hurd still has that shoulder injury and still not 100%. Now, Hurd is supposed to be moving to a new gym. Now, I heard this out of his father's mouth that they don't know if they're going to rent a gym out or Hurd going to get his own gym. But he will no longer be in Ernesto's gym. So, Hurd is looking to buy a gym or rent a gym. So, that kind of hints to me that either he's going to have a coach come to him or he's going to get a coach locally to come train him on the Virginia side, his father said. So, we could switch gears as well. Also, I could tell you from behind the scenes, Joey Spencer will no longer be training with Virgil Hunter anymore. Okay. Joey Spencer 7-0, 6 knockouts out of Linden, Michigan. Okay, he's no longer with Virgil Hunter. He's moving back to Michigan to continue his training. And I don't know exactly what happened with him and Virgil Hunter, so I can't speak on it. Maybe he wanted to go back home. But we know Virgil Hunter, from a lot of people's opinions, isn't that good of a coach. Okay, well, outside of Andre Ward, he ain't that good of a coach. He ain't had much success, but it's hard to have success with guys that's been through the ringer. Angulo, Berto, Cant, especially guys like Cant who don't want to train in between fights. Just want to train when a fight coming up to get better. So, Joey Spencer will be fighting tonight in Vegas on a Fox prelim card, but he's no longer with Virgil Hunter. I guess he's just going to train with his family or a coach back in Linden, Michigan. So he's made that progression, or he made that move, and hopefully it's progression back to the crib and trained at home. So I don't know if it was financial or maybe they just feel like Virgil wasn't bringing enough to the team, or he was losing his fastball. But, Joey Spencer, you probably noticed tonight Virgil Hunter won't be in this corner, and he's one of the hot shot prospects coming up in boxing. One of the lower level prospects, as far as, when I say lower level, is 7-0, 6 knockouts, still coming up. He ain't really on that, that contender status yet, and I'm sure that he'll have an opportunity to reach that as he's moving forward in his career. And yeah, man, I like the kid, and hopefully he does what's best for him. And for Virgil Hunter, obviously it's a ton of more fighters that want to go train with him. Eubanks Jr. came out there and wanted to and kind of got a test run, and he always changes coaches. But some people think Virgil is overrated, some people think he underrated. So we'll see what really goes on with Virgil Hunter and the rest of his career, and we'll see how Joey Spencer, you never know, maybe Joey Spencer have a wake up call and go back to Virgil. So you really never know. But here go the kicker right here. The kicker is that I heard from behind the scenes talk, somebody close to Devin Haney said that Eddie Hearn ain't got the juice. That Eddie Hearn don't have any power to get Devin Haney a fight in Vegas. Okay? And Devin, he can't even get Devin Haney a fight in Vegas. And my source said that he, pretty much asked, what Devin Haney was going to fight in the new arena out there in San Francisco. And, the plug told him that Eddie Hearn can't even get Devin Haney a fight in Vegas. And Eddie Hearn don't have no pull. No pull whatsoever. No juice to get Devin Haney to fight in Vegas. So how you going to get him to fight in the arena? And pretty much they believe, or it sounds like they believe, that Devin Haney made a big mistake signing with Eddie Hearn already in the beginning of the contract. Now, the great thing about the contract with Eddie Hearn and Devin is that Eddie Hearn is going to promote his fighters. But once you think about it, Devin Haney got a network deal. So at the end of the day, it will be BS that come with that, but Devin Haney got a guaranteed deal unless the zone just folds in America and files bankruptcy or whatever. But he'll have a deal on the zone to fight. He got a minimum, whatever his minimum is probably millions of dollars. But, people ask why he didn't sign with PBC. And he wanted a guarantee. And PBC doesn't do network guarantees. They do on a fight-by-fight deal. And that's why you hear Bomac said they live in paycheck to paycheck over there, which I don't think is the right term. But, for Devin Haney, he can't even get in Vegas. So it seems like Eddie Hearn is having a hard time finding venues in America. Now, he had a show that was originally slated to be in L.A. in the beginning of his DAZN term, and they couldn't get out in L.A. to make that to get that fight. They couldn't get nothing out there good enough, so it never happened. So now he has to go to Kansas and Chicago and Providence, Rhode Island, where fights don't go, to get those fights. Best believe if Eddie Hearn could go to Las Vegas and LA and to the Bay Area up there at the new arena in San Francisco where the Warriors be playing at, if he could get in the Barclays Center on a regular basis, Madison Square Garden on a regular basis, he wouldn't be fighting in Chicago, Kansas at the Wintrust Arena, BS venue, not even the United Center. He wouldn't be fighting at those venues, if he can get into those bigger venues. So it seems like Eddie Hearn is not only getting beat, as we can see, by Al Hammond and Bob Arum, but behind the scenes, these venues ain't messing with him. So, unfortunately for Devin Haney, it sounds like he may, or people around him may believe he had made a mistake signing with Eddie Hearn, but it's still early in their tenure. But don't look for Devin Haney to be fighting in Vegas or out there in San Francisco in his hood in the new Warriors Arena, because Eddie Hearn don't got the juice. So, pretty much to give you a rundown, we talked about Hurd, trainer, quote-unquote, lying about saying he shouldn't have fought J.Rock, and, that Hurd still had a shoulder injury that was significant versus J.Rock. Joey Spencer split from Virgil Hunter, and we heard that Eddie Hearn couldn't get Devin Haney a fight in Vegas and maybe in blackballed out of Vegas in certain venues around the world. So appreciate everybody for tapping in with your boy. Behind the scenes talk. Told you guys the video was coming during the live stream. Don't forget to check out our sponsor,
The Hellblaze at thehellblaze.com. Promo code GoodFella1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products, soaps, lotions, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, much, much more. Website, promo code in description. And don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email as well if you want to make a donation. That link's there as well too. Check out the Patreon one time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports.